right, guys, it's party time. We are on mat 1, and we are going to check out Felipe Andrew versus Felipe Silva in this first semifinal match of the Black Belt Open class, which is a highly anticipated match. I'm so excited for this.
Yeah, this is going to be amazing. It's the battle of the Felipes, essentially. Like Felipe Pena underneath where he always feels comfortable. He's got to watch the foot locks. I didn't see what happened with Felipe Andrew, but he's got a very good foot lock. And
it's really interesting to me to watch some of these guys who are like newer generation black belts with legends, and you know, we haven't seen Felipe Pena too much lately, so we really don't know what he's been up to. So yeah, in a big, but Felipe Andrew's been on fire.
He has.
He submitted Patrick Gaudio earlier, if I'm not mistaken. He had a crazy pants performance, just been so dominant lately, so incredible. Interesting use of like the spider position with the left leg by Felipe Andrew, but Felipe Pena peels that foot right off.
Yeah, so Felipe Pena had his left leg. He went over the top because now, you know, the leg lace is becoming bigger and bigger in the jiu-jitsu game, and you can use it. It's not that way now. He's almost like a lasso with his left leg. He's got that left leg almost in a bear trap position, but you can use it. You just have to use it carefully, and he was almost used that to sweep Felipe Andrew. So in the very beginning, he literally inverted almost like an ankle lace position, and it put Felipe Andrew down, and he was able to come up. So it was a nice use of that position, and I think we were talking earlier. I think we'll see that position in the gi. You can use it in the gi. You just have to be very careful on how you use it. But it's a very productive way to pass guard. It's a productive way to sweep. I mean, you're controlling both legs at the same time.
Very interesting. You know, we have a penalty coming in now for Pena. It looked like Felipe Andrew was really excited about staying in the middle of the mat. He was kind of scooting back, trying to stay engaged, and I think the penalty was for not engaging from Pena. So from here, wow, this is a lot of heavy pressure stapling down the legs. But Felipe Andrew did a great job of getting the sleeve of Pena up so that he couldn't keep the legs stapled down with that pant grip. Wow, big pant grip movement here from Pena, but not enough to get past the guard.
Let's go. Yes.
This is interesting to me to see another penalty for Pena. Or no, is that an advantage? Advantage for Pena.
Yeah,
okay, so we have an advantage. I was like, man, that's rough. Another penalty?
Just beating Pena up with penalties.
Okay, so we got an advantage here for Pena for the near pass, and a lot of pressure coming on. But Felipe Andrew doing a good job keeping that right leg lassoed in. Just keeps enough of the weight off so he can start to bring that left leg back over and get back into an active guard rather than a passive guard. You never want to be passively playing guard where we're defending and we're just trying to retain. It can feel like you're drowning, right, with someone's pressure like that especially. But when we get back into an active guard, as we're seeing now with Pena, we have this nice lasso in. He's switching between the De La Hiva and the collar grip, breaking the posture, attacking the leg. But unfazed, you know, Pena coming in with some big pressure to keep passing to the right side, completely ignoring the lasso, or just, I wouldn't say ignoring, but he's doesn't feel threatened enough by the lasso to address it at this point, right?
Yeah. You saw Felipe do a very nice knee lever with that lasso just to reset Pena, but yeah, like you said, Pena's sort of unfazed right now with the lasso.
Right. Now a reset, we see the athletes are happy. Okay, they checked in with both of them. And trying to clear the lasso. It's very hard to clear that lasso with the left elbow. There's a couple different ways people aim to do it. But if you can see Felipe Andrew's foot, it's actually crossed all the way to the other side of Pena's body now.
Yeah, Kendall, I had a buddy that was his sweep. When you crossed it by with the lasso, he essentially won brown belt Pan Am's this. Now this is a long time ago. This is a long time. but he used that very, very well. And you thought you were past, and all of a sudden he would flip you right to knee on stomach. It was a very creative sweep that's what he did.
Wow.
One of his moves. So
it's a deceiving thing because you have this false sense of security, like you're smashing the lasso leg down and you feel like you're able to kind of control the position, and then you're tilting. And so, you know, it's an interesting, like, Felipe Pena right now, you know, has the need to break the lasso. But he also, you know, he's looking at the clock. He's looking at the scoreboard. He knows he's winning right now. There's no intense urgency to open that up and start passing like crazy. But Felipe Andrew almost coming up on top for the 2 here. And now going underneath, reaching for that belt grip. Might come up for it to get to score 2. Looks like he will. Oh, and just kicks out in time. Pena does. Wow. That potentially could have made this match a lot closer. With about the 5-minute mark, we would have just been looking at a penalty and an advantage. But back on the feet.
And Felipe Andrew has good wrestling. He has a good single, but then look at that.
Right,
so
as we
Felipe
say
Pena.
that, big.
But there's a switch.
Big switch from Felipe Andrew. Wow.
And there's that. That was a great switch. I mean, that was an exceptional arm drag, cross trip, right? And then Felipe switches, gets into the double.
And just like we were saying earlier, it's the counter wrestling is what we're seeing in Jiu-Jitsu right now, is really exploding. People are learning to chain things together and be very complex with the stand-up game involving judo and wrestling. And I think the people who do so successfully on the feet in Jiu-Jitsu are the people who combine, you know, Jiu-Jitsu or grappling, whatever you want to call that, with wrestling and judo and counter wrestling. Oh, we're seeing some complaint here right now from Felipe Andrew, complaining about a reaping position. But it really gets particular with the way that Felipe Pena is grabbing the ankle with his left hand. He did not have a footlock grip. And so if he doesn't have a footlock grip, then it's not illegal for him to cross that left leg past the hip line over towards the stomach.
He could do it now. Basically, if the leg is on the other side, he's scooped rather than over rep, like you're saying. You can reap the leg as long as it's on the opposite hip, that cross hip.
Right, exactly. So it is interesting there, though, because, you know, you got to feel for the athletes. Sometimes the refs will give scores for that, and sometimes they won't. So I don't blame Felipe Andrew for looking up and saying, like, hey, man, you know, what's going on here, especially with a match this tight. But now we see a big, strong ankle lock attempt from Felipe Pena, and you know it's strong because we're seeing the way that Andrew is really, really responding.
Yeah, and you could see a little bit of a grimace.
Yes. I said the names backwards, but Felipe Andrew with the big ankle lock attempt, it'll earn him an advantage. And we know that he has this very strong ankle lock. He comes close to breaking people's feet off all the time.
Very good attempt there. He did a good job of creating some distance with his inside hook. And
he just has, you know, such a strong way of keeping the feet on the hip or on the thigh, depending on where it is, and extending his legs, so that even if somebody is standing on their foot, he's still able to create enough extension to get the break, right? Even if the person's standing, which is pretty uncommon. You don't see that too much, because typically with a foot lock, if I can stomp my foot to the ground and make my foot flat, I'm safe. But if someone is so powerful like that and just so skilled in that position to be able to continue bridging their hips up while you're standing and get the break, that's someone who has a great foot lock, who knows what they're doing, which, you know, we're looking at 2 world-class athletes right here, so not surprising. So we're, you know, moving into just under 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 48 seconds, 2-2, but Pena is winning now by 2 advantages. So we're going to need to see a bigger score here by Felipe Andrew. If he were to score 2 advantages, potentially, then he would be up due to the penalty that Pena has. But more likely than that, he's going to be looking to pass. He's going to be looking to put some points on the board here. So now we have the switch off. We have Pena with the lasso now, which is definitely a big part of Andrew's game. It can be very frustrating at this point in the match when you're trying to pass, because it can be really sticky to unravel, but he's doing a good job of it here. You know, he's, a little bit of a back step hip switch action, but Felipe Pena doing a great job keeping his legs involved. We're almost in like a 50-50 position now here. Another position that's hard to break out of when you are doing a lot of work to pass.
Yeah, it is.
And especially if you're someone who's up on points. You know, holding this position is sometimes the only goal towards the end of the fight. We see that happen a lot, especially when you're winning by a narrow lead. Take too many chances at this point, Felipe Andrew's going to backstep past your guard or break your foot off. You know, we've seen it.
Yep.
And
and Felipe's got to be careful he doesn't get a little overzealous and have that. Felipe Andrew does, because Felipe, that left knee of Felipe Pena crawls in there, and all of a sudden he's behind you.
Yep, looking, you know, there's some big back take opportunities here. and foot attack opportunities too, right? Felipe Pena definitely has both, and that's the hard thing about that position is if you play the foot attacks or the leg attacks with the back take, then one of the two typically starts to open up. As you defend one, you have to address the other, and we see just that.
That was a nice little inversion.
Going in on the legs, and then, you know, Andrew's forced to defend the legs, so Pena goes back to the back. But a very good idea here for Andrew to break that sleeve grip off of his right foot so that his right foot can be free. He'll be able to stand up onto that right foot and really start to drive some forward pressure. But if he's not able to stand up on that right foot, then he really is stuck and at risk for getting swept here, which is what we're going to see. Well, not quite.
Yeah,
Felipe Pena didn't look too urgent on finishing that sweep.
I agree. Yeah, I think he's going to try to let some time run by, but like he's in good control here. That was that. Whoa, well. Let's see, he's going to score two there now.
Felipe Andrew looking like he thought he might be able to go in on a knee bar there, rolling through. But now he's going to have one of his favorite preferred positions. So this fight is not over. With 25 seconds, it's very, very plausible that he could get a strong foot attack here. Like we said, even if that left foot's on the ground, but now that left foot crosses over into a more classic 50-50. And Felipe Andrew back to the feet with 8 seconds left, looking like this is a one fight for Felipe Andrew here. And Felipe Pena staying on the outside, which a little bit of laughter between the two at the end. You know, he's like inviting him to the middle of the mat to finish up the match. And Felipe Pena's like, nah, man, I'm good. I'm done. I need
a little break.
Yeah. Like you said, he had a really tough match with Max Jimenez earlier, too. So it's been a long day for Felipe Andrew already. So, like we were talking about earlier, that is going to be our first finalist for the male black belt absolute. But just across the way, we are going to see Nicholas Marigali versus Kainan Dwarch, which may be my favorite match of the day so far. We're going to find out. I am very, very excited. That is going to be on mat 8. So let's head over to mat 8.